Here is what INFJs say versus what they actually mean. Number 1, I'm fine. When an INFJ says, I'm fine, don't let those 3 simple words fool you. Behind that calm voice is a universe of unspoken feelings, like an ocean that looks peaceful on the surface but swirls with hidden currents beneath. To an INFJ, saying, I'm fine is both a shield and a quiet plea. It's a way to protect themselves from unraveling too soon, to hold back the flood of emotions that they aren't ready to share yet. Because inside their mind is a storm of questions, worries, and deep reflections all happening at once. They might be wrestling with pain they haven't fully named, or processing heartbreak they don't want to burden others with. Or maybe they're simply exhausted from feeling too much, too deeply, too often. I'm fine is their way of saying, I'm managing the chaos inside, but it's complicated. Please don't ask me to explain, because the words aren't ready yet. It's a gentle, protective pause, a fragile moment of holding themselves together until they can find the right way, the right time, and the right person to let their walls down. So, when an INFJ says, I'm fine, what they really mean is, I'm trying, I'm still here, just give me a little more time. Number 2, it's nothing. When an INFJ says, it's nothing, it's rarely ever just nothing. To the outside world, it sounds like a dismissive shrug, an invitation to move on. But for the INFJ, those 2 words are a carefully crafted armor, shielding the fragile tangle of thoughts and emotions swirling inside. It's nothing is the gentle hush before a storm, a silent pause where all the weight of unspoken worries, doubts, and hurts is folded neatly into a quiet corner of their heart. They say it not because the feelings are insignificant, but because they haven't yet found the words or the right moment to unravel the knot inside. It's a protective dance, an attempt to hold the emotional chaos at bay so they can process it without exposing their vulnerability to the world. When you hear it's nothing, imagine a locked room in their mind, filled with whispered stories and hidden pain. They're not shutting you out, they're simply waiting until they feel safe enough to invite you in. It's a subtle request for patience, a reminder that sometimes silence speaks louder than words. So, never mistake it's nothing for emptiness. For an INFJ, it's a quiet universe waiting to be understood. Number 3, you don't have to explain. When an INFJ says, you don't have to explain, it's not just a casual phrase. It's a sacred promise wrapped in quiet understanding. INFJs are masters of silent empathy. They don't just listen with their ears, they absorb with their entire being. Every subtle sigh, every fleeting glance, every tremor in your voice becomes a thread in the tapestry they're weaving, one that reveals your story even before you tell it. By saying you don't have to explain, they're telling you they already see the invisible weight you carry, the unspoken fears, the half-hidden pain, the thoughts you've tucked away because they're too heavy to share. It's their way of honoring your pace, your boundaries, and your readiness. They're saying, I'll hold this space for you, with patience and without pressure. When your heart is ready to speak, I'll be here. This phrase is an unspoken bond, one that invites trust without demanding words, comfort without conditions, and presence without intrusion. For an INFJ, understanding someone deeply means sometimes just being there in the silence, allowing the unspoken to breathe. So when they say, you don't have to explain, no, it's not avoidance or disinterest. It's a gentle, profound way of saying, I see you fully and truly, even in the quiet. Number 4, I just want to help. When an INFJ says, I just want to help, it's not a casual offer. It's a quiet vow, a heartfelt mission wrapped in gentle determination. They don't just want to solve your problems, they want to lighten your invisible burdens, the ones you carry silently, tucked away where no one sees. Their desire to help is fueled by an almost sacred empathy, a deep urge to heal the cracks they sense in your armor. But helping for an INFJ isn't always simple. It can be a delicate dance, balancing their intense need to support others with their own need to preserve their emotional energy. Sometimes beneath the calm words lies a well of exhaustion because giving so much takes its toll. I just want to help often means I see your pain, even the parts you hide from yourself. and I'm willing to stand beside you, even if that means carrying some of that pain for a while. It's also a quiet plea. Let me in, let me be part of your healing, even if all I can offer right now is my presence. Sometimes their help is tangible, advice, solutions, actions, but often it's invisible, a listening ear, a patient heart, or simply the steady space they create for you to be yourself without judgment. So when an INFJ says, "I just want to help," know that it's more than kindness. It's an act of love, vulnerability, and profound connection, offered without fanfare, but with all their heart. Number 5. Let's talk later. When an INFJ says, "let's talk later," what they really mean is, my mind is swirling with a storm I need to calm before I can be fully present. INFJs live in a world of intense feelings and deep thoughts, a vast internal universe where every interaction leaves ripples. Sometimes these ripples grow into waves, and they need to retreat into solitude to navigate the emotional tide. Let's talk later isn't avoidance or disinterest, it's a self-preservation strategy. It's them telling you that they want to honor the conversation, but only when they can bring their whole self, undistracted, clear-headed, and emotionally balanced. In that moment, their mind is processing, analyzing, and healing. It's a sacred pause, a necessary recharge, so when they return, their words carry weight, wisdom, and empathy. So, next time an INFJ says, "let's talk later," don't take it as a brush off. It's a promise that when the time is right, they'll show up for you in a way only they can. Number 6. That's interesting. When an INFJ says, "that's interesting," it's never just a filler phrase. It's a secret handshake into their labyrinth of thought. Imagine you tell them about a quirky habit you have, like always rearranging your desk at midnight. An INFJ won't just nod politely, they're already piecing together why you do it, what it means about your need for control or creativity, and how it might connect to something they felt but never voiced. Or maybe you share a wild theory about life, like, maybe we all live in a simulation. Instead of dismissing it, the INFJ's "that's interesting" is a subtle way of saying, "you've just opened a door I didn't know existed. Let's walk through it together." They use "interesting" as a gentle way to express curiosity without overwhelming you with their depth right away. It's their way of saying, "I'm intrigued, but I'm also watching carefully. I want to understand, not judge." It's like a poet's pause in a conversation, a soft signal that they're weaving your words into a private tapestry of meaning. And often, hours later, that interesting moment will spark a cascade of thoughts, leading to insights and connections no one else saw. So, next time you hear "that's interesting" from an INFJ, know it's more than just a phrase. It's the start of a mental journey, a quiet spark of connection, and a window into their complex world. These videos will be really helpful for you.